Hey guys, we are back again with Debian Bookworm and Xfce desktop environment. Today we are going to be installing VirtualBox. Now, why would you want to use VirtualBox? In my experience, I find that it offers a little bit of isolation between your various workflows. For example, I can have one box running websites, another dedicated to running bots, and I get to choose how to allocate my system resources to these different tasks. Another one that I like to do is I like to also test software that I'm not familiar with inside of a box. Actually, I can share an example of this. More recently, I was not too familiar with Docker, so I created a VirtualBox and I installed Docker. And it's a good thing that I did this because I'm a person who writes my own firewall rules into IP tables, and I found out via installing it into a VirtualBox that Docker listens on 0.0.0.0, meaning every single IP address, and it writes those automatically into your firewall. By design, it overrides your firewall, and you have to create new entries specifically for Docker. I tend to be very particular. I like my rules as they are, and I don't want to have to create a whole new system of rules just to accommodate Docker. So by putting it inside a VirtualBox that is behind IP tables, nothing that I do is going to play with my firewall, and I like that. I like that very much. It kept me from any unpleasant surprises the next day. I have definitely read of other people using Docker for the first time and coming back to a very sad surprise because they didn't know that Docker overrode their firewall to let everything through. So that gives me a little bit of control, which is always very, very welcome. Anyway, back to VirtualBox. Currently, of course, I am using Debian, and there are actual downloads for Windows, Mac OS, and the various Linux distributions. Of course, I'm going to grab the Linux distribution they have for Ubuntu and Debian and OpenSUSE, Fedora, and they have also for all distributions. I'm going to grab for Debian, and this one is a .deb file. So most of the time when you are installing this, you are installing it using apt. So go ahead and open your terminal. I am going to switch to root, cd into home, my username. Obviously for you, it'll be your username. And then I will go to desktop because that is currently what I am looking at. So list, and there we have VirtualBox 7.0 with all the other wonderful details here. So I am just gonna go ahead and copy that. And then we are going to use apt install, and then I am going to paste what it says there. Oh, what? Okay, I see. It wants an absolute path, so that's fine. We will give it exactly what it wants. There you go. So the path to the file was home, my username, desktop, and then VirtualBox, whatever version it is that you are installing. And this is just showing you a complete list of what will be installed. So that is VirtualBox and the additional packages shown here. So that's just a quick summary. Yes. Okay, it says the download is performed unsandboxed. as root. That's fine. It will still open. And there you go. We now have VirtualBox installed.